What's up, G Show Land, and welcome to another episode of the G Show Podcast. I am G1, and this is the G1 and Z1 Show, episode 3. And obviously, joining me is Gam Z1. Hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 3. We got quite the docket on today, I do believe.
We do. It's going to be interesting. It's also going to be a nostalgia trip because this weekend was chock full of nostalgic things for me. I seen Dragon Ball Superhero. Well, we got to talk about that. We're going to go in depth with that. We're going to start off with that. I binge watched all of Picard from last weekend, and then yesterday completely binge watched season 3. So there's nostalgia there. I saw Evil Dead Rise. There's some nostalgia there. We'll talk about that. And then the Power Rangers Once and Forever, or whatever it was called, the Netflix special that came out this week, this past Friday. Nostalgia trip. But not only that, we're also going to talk some dinosaurs. We're going to talk Jurassic Park. We're going to talk Jurassic Park because Gam Z1 has rewatched Jurassic. You watched all 6 movies?
I watched all 6 movies, yes.
Oh my God. All right, we got to get into that shit. But honestly, I think we got to start off with Dragon Ball Superhero because that's how we left off episode 2 with all right, I'm going to go and I'm going to watch it. And I know you were gushing about it. And there was a couple of things I had asked about it, and you know, I was like, I don't care about the spoilers in this particular instance, and you let me know. I went and I was looking to find, I can't lie, I was looking to find it unconventionally. I couldn't, so I was like, all right, I'll just rent it. Couldn't rent it. I was like, all right, I'll just buy it then. I mean, it is what it is. I own the other Dragon Ball Super movies, with the exception of the first one. But why not? I'll buy it. I'll bite. And good Lord, have mercy on my tiny soul because that is my favorite Dragon Ball Super movie right now.
Yes, I fully agree.
Oh,
it's so good.
It is so good. I mean, right off the bat, let's talk nostalgia. Seeing Baby Pond.
Right off the bat, that 2D introduction sequence where it goes from the Red Ribbon Army saga all the way through to the defeat of Cell.
Oh, man, yeah. Oh, bringing back so many fucking great memories of watching Dragon Ball Z back in the day, watching the Cell saga, remembering how much I hated it only because I'm like, man, this dude's too powerful. How are you going to defeat this motherfucker? Keeps getting stronger, you know. Seeing Vegeta finally level up and get his Super Saiyan abilities, and I'm like, yes! And I'm just getting wiped out because he was cocky as fuck. Like, all that shit, all those raw emotions were coming back. But that was a good thing because to start off the movie like that, I'm like, yeah, let's fucking go. All right, let's Red Ribbon Army. All right, the cyborgs, androids. Let's just do it. And yeah, I gotta be honest, man. I thoroughly enjoyed what they did, how they went back, how they tie everything together, and just the threat and the fact that it was Gohan.
Yes,
and not even really
Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta actually take a back seat for once because Dragon Ball Super, from the very beginning, back when it was the Dragon Ball Z movies, Battle of Gods and Resurrection F, we were strewn in the direction that it was the Goku and Vegeta show, or the Goku and Vegeta movies.
Yep. And we definitely didn't get that here. If anything, this was more of a Piccolo movie, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I thought it was brilliant. Listen, Piccolo training Little Pan in the beginning of that movie, there was tears in my eyes. I love seeing little baby Pan on screen. When my daughter was born, that's all I kept calling her Panja, because little tiny Pan, like I was like, ah. And it was funny to see how he would train her. Well, she couldn't fly, right? That was the thing. He wanted her to fly, or she wanted to fly.
Yeah. Yeah, she wanted the more higher level martial arts training with ki blasts and all that, but she still didn't get the basics like flight down, and that's what Piccolo brought up to her.
Right. It was just so good, and it was like the little things. Like, look, plot aside, we got to really talk about the biggest thing. I mean, because this is the thing that's been on my damn head since I seen the movie, and it just absolutely blew my mind. And that was the end of the movie. There's no other way around it. I mean,
I didn't spoil the end of the movie for you.
No.
But once you got to Cell Max...
Oh, my God. But, what the... Listen. First off, Piccolo Orange is definitely one of my new favorite characters of all time.
Orange Piccolo is such a beast. Like when he was no selling Gamma's Gamma 1's absolute assault, and then he just the single gut wrenching punch as a counterattack.
So good. Gohan there, and he's like doing his thing. Gohan is like the most powerful fighter on Earth because Goku and Vegeta were having a sparring match up in oh my God, with Whis in them, and
on Beerus'
planet. Couldn't get it out.
Also, what did you think about Beerus simping over Chilai?
Dying. And then also telling the old man with the food, like, you can't leave now. You ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, honestly, it's crazy. Whis is still like my favorite new character from Super. It's just something about Whis that cracks me up to no end. Like, you could tell, I can imagine Whis being more powerful than Lord Beerus. I swear to God, I honestly think that's...
Oh, he is more powerful than Lord Beerus.
That's the whole thing, right? Like, that's the catch. And he's just so... I love him. He's just freaking fun character.
Yeah, he is more powerful than Lord Beerus. He's just not allowed to fight.
So there it is.
Seriously. That's part of the Angel Code.
Gotcha. I like that. I love that. But the end of this movie, that epic drag-out brawl just... culminating with the whole, call back to Android 16 getting his head crushed by Cell, and
where Gohan snaps and you see the red line go behind him again, just like he did when he went Super Saiyan 2 for the first time. That Gohan Beast. That's the official name for it. Gohan Beast.
Is that the official name for it? Or is that what we're calling it? Oh, that is. Okay. Wait, so...
That is the official name, is Gohan Beast.
So that is what that version of Gohan at the end of this Dragon Ball superhero movie is called?
Yes.
Because I was over here like, it's Super Saiyan 5. It's Super Saiyan 6. I was like, it's the greatest Super Saiyan. It's Super Saiyan God. It's it. When I seen Gohan transform into this Ultra Instinct Plus type character, my mind was blown. I was watching this shit at like 5 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, and I was biting my knuckles trying to keep my squeals of joy in because my wife would have came down and drop kicked me. But I was on my couch like, oh my God, it was unbelievable. And it's just, the little things.
So you want to know the best part about this? All right. Here's the best part about this. Back in 2016, 2017, when the Tournament of Power was still being aired in Japan, a lot of the Latin American fan base were doing speculative things like, Jiren having a secret twin brother called El Hermano, and them thinking that Gohan was going to get a new form in the Tournament of Power, and they represented this new form with white hair and red eyes, and they called it Gohan Blanco.
Aha!
Gohan Blanco is now canon.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I remember seeing pictures on the internet of that, and I was like, that is so fucking dope. And it is canon now. It's canon. Power of the people. The power of the people. The fans. I tell you, the fans, we can win. When we want to win, we can win. That's a win. This movie was fantastic. Again,
What did you think of the 3D animation? Because like I described how the movie was in the last podcast, it's 3D animation with 2D animation celled over the 3D movement to make it look this distinct way that it does.
I think it was a little bit jarring in the beginning. I can't lie. I was kind of trying to focus. But honestly, it just kind of falls into place, and then it's just like, this is actually really good, and it's pretty to watch, and the animation's top notch. Everybody's giving it their all, and it didn't make me go crazy like the end of Broly with all these psychedelic colors, and it was just bang, bang, bang until it seizure-inducing. It didn't happen. It didn't happen this time. I was happy. But
yeah, the balance between plot and action is a lot better done in this movie, as opposed to Broly, where you have the first half of the movie being nothing but plot and no action, and then you get the last 40 minutes of the movie and it's just nothing but action and no plot.
It's true. This was I like the balance here. And it was a simple thing. Like, yeah, I love that Piccolo infiltrated the Red Ribbon Army. Just the whole kidnapping of Pan. I mean, like, all this funny stuff because, you know, she was like, okay, just playing along. I loved all of that. I loved the doctor who wanted to be a superhero, but was like, I'm gonna do things that'll benefit me regardless if it's the right thing to do or not. And then him having that, you know, crisis of conscience moment at the end. All of those things were great. I loved Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. Loved them.
Oh, yeah. Absolute standout characters, in my opinion. A welcome addition to the Dragon Ball ensemble.
Absolutely. And then Uber Cell. That thing was just, I loved it.
Okay, see, can we talk about Cell Max for a second?
Yeah, let's go.
So, on one hand, in my opinion, Cell Max, on the surface level, he's a cool final boss guy. He even because he's a big fucking kaiju monster at this point, you even get your references to Shin Godzilla.
Yeah, you do. Oh, you do. Oh, no.
Out of every little triangle cell part that's all over his body, that was also all over the original Cell's body, that shit just starts shooting lasers.
Yep.
Which is crazy to think that Shin Godzilla has influenced multiple things at this point in our media history.
Yeah. Where are we going with this? Why are you breaking up Shin Godzilla? But it is true.
But at the same time, it's still the Super's awful habit of rehashing old villains. We've already had Frieza come back not once, but twice in Super. And now Cell's back. I mean, he was only back for a little bit and then he died, but it's still bringing Cell back. What's next? All right, is Majin Buu just going to turn evil again? I don't fucking know.
I agree with that. I am 100% on that ship with you. I was thinking the same thing. As cool as it was, it's getting tired. I love characters like Jiren, for instance, a brand new character, and it was like, yo, this is a badass character. He's not evil. He is a fucking space cop. You know?
And at the same time, Super has given us one of my favorite villains in the entire franchise, that being Goku Black.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. You can't, I mean, honestly, like you said, what are you going to do? Resurrect Boo and have him become evil? Or, evil Boo pops back up, or Ubu pops up? I don't know. All I'm saying is, I agree. You're right. It needs to kind of die down now. Now, my question is...
What's up? What's your question?
Whatever's coming out next as far as the television show goes, are we going to see Cell? Or is it going to, feature and focus more on Brawly? Or it's going to be something different?
What I and others are hoping to God happens, right? And it seems to be what's happening is the anime is letting the manga get ahead. Because I've said this before, I do believe to either you in either the first episode or the second episode, or maybe in a general podcast, but the manga is severely it is almost 3 whole arcs ahead of the anime at this point.
Wow.
Because we've had, after the Tournament of Power, we've had the Universe Prisoner Saga, which is also known as the Moro arc. We've had the Strongest in the Universe arc, which is also known as the Granola arc. And right now, the manga is currently... it got done adapting a prequel to Superhero, and now it is straight up adapting Superhero in manga form.
Okay.
And everybody's pretty much hoping that when the anime sparks back up, it's going to start closely following the manga, unlike how it did last time, where the manga and the anime were happening parallel to each other, and everybody was given the same general notes from Akira Toriyama on how the stories are supposed to go, but the manga did it one way and the anime did it a completely different way.
Okay.
Like, for example, we see Vegeta go Super Saiyan God with the red hair in the manga all the way back during the Universe 6 tournament.
Oh.
As opposed to in the anime, we had to wait for the Broly movie for that to happen.
Yeah.
Like, that's how different things got in the manga. Like, in the manga, Goku can't even stack Kaioken on top of Super Saiyan Blue because that was an anime-only concept.
Oh. Huh. Wow.
So yeah, now that the manga has been going every single month since 2017 when Dragon Ball Super ended, it's got quite a lot of material now when the show finally kicks back up to be more closely faithful to the manga, kind of like how traditional anime does it.
Right. So, question, I guess, is when can we see something new in form of animation?
There's been a lot of misinformation and hopefulness going around in the focused Dragon Ball community on YouTube and Twitter and stuff. What we know officially is nothing. What we know with a grain of salt is that maybe we'll get it sometime either the end of this year or the beginning of next year. And maybe it'll be a web-exclusive anime, or maybe it'll be on Fuji TV. We don't know.
Okay. Web-exclusive? Wow, what? Wait, why?
Yeah, where it would just pop up on streaming websites like Netflix or something for the whole world to digest just right there.
Okay, I'm because I'm kind of like, well, what happened to
because Dragon Ball is now a global brand. So
okay, there it is. I was wondering. I'm like, but what about their relationship with like Funimation or Crunchyroll, where they, simulcast?
Yeah, simulcasting and all that.
Okay, all right, just making sure. I was like, because I don't want to have to track another thing down so I can watch some Dragon Ball. It's bad enough I'm tracking down a million other things, getting a million other things to track everything else down. But look,
yeah,
Dragon Ball Superhero was freaking fantastic. In my opinion, it's definitely the best movie out of the Super bunch, and it is one of the best Dragon Ball movies, period. It's probably... I got a soft spot for that OG Broly movie. I got a soft spot for it. I love that movie. I love the animation to it. I love the rawness to that movie. But this comes right in second. It's like right there. It's like 1.5 on my favorites. It's so good. And the fact that, how long have we been doing Dragon Ball now? 40 years?
Dragon Ball has been going since 1982, I do believe.
40 years. We've been with these characters we've been with Goku for 40 years. And, man, it's just, it's a testament. It's a testament to the dedication of the voice actors. It's a testament to the dedication of the animators. And it's a testament to the dedication from the creator himself. Dragon Ball is like my favorite animated saga. It really is.
So now, before we move on to the next topic, I have yet more homework for you to do to track down if you were ever interested.
Uh-oh.
So this series is as far away from canon as you can get. It is literally animated fan fiction. But at the same time, it is entertaining as hell, and it is near weekly Dragon Ball content that's still coming out to this day, that has been coming out since Dragon Ball Super ended in 2017.
Wait, what?
And it is the promotional anime called Super Dragon Ball Heroes.
Oh, I think I've heard of this. Super Dragon Ball.
It's got wacky shit like Golden Cooler. You ever wanted to see Golden Cooler? It's in Dragon Ball Heroes.
Wait, I think I saw this. I thought this was a game in Japan. I thought it was like one of those Palinko machines.
It is, and it is a promotional anime for that arcade game.
Holy crap.
But it is still an anime that's still coming out.
So it follows a story.
And Masako Nozawa is voicing Goku, and you wanted to hear Masako Nozawa still voice Goku.
Wait, is there a loose story to this, or is there just like...
There is a loose story.
Oh my god!
It's gone through, I think, like 3 or 4 arcs at this point. Whole arcs.
What are they? 10-minute episodes?
I think anywhere between 7 and 10 minutes. Yes.
I could totally get down with this. And where can I find this? Because I do want this.
The place that I watch it on is Watch Cartoons Online, WCOstream.com.
Okay. Because it's not going to be on YouTube.
No. There used to be upload channels on YouTube, but they got nuked into oblivion.
That's where I think I seen it from. Because I remember seeing like this, and I thought at first, it was, what was the Dragon Ball game where you can like create a character and like this whole story revolved, and it was just like crazy random things that looked like it.
Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Yeah, I thought it was that. And then I seen it was one of the games, one of the Japanese arcade games, and I'm like, whoa, but why is this so fucking dope? I had no idea. So it's an unofficial.
Yeah, you got things like Super Saiyan 4 Goku, from who's part of this unit called the Time Patrol, who go around the eras to fix history. And he's like the Goku from GT, and he fights Super Saiyan Blue Goku from Dragon Ball Super.
Yes. I remember seeing that on the internet, and I was like, this ain't real. This is not real at all. This is somebody did a very good job with the animation. This can't be real. Holy crap. I have to. You see, talk about nostalgia trip. I want to see Super Saiyan 4 Goku again. I like the Super Saiyan 4 look. I really did. I'm not mad at,
and
Blue.
You see multiple people go Super Saiyan 4 in Super Dragon Ball Heroes. If I recall correctly, you can get to see Gohan go Super Saiyan 4. You get to see Broly go Super Saiyan 4. Oh. You get to see Bardock go Super Saiyan 4.
Oh, man, we just handing that shit out loud like a Super Saiyan 1.
It's a Super Saiyan bargain sale.
Seriously, everybody's invited. I'm with it. I am going to track this down. I am going to track this down tonight. Because I ain't got nothing else to do, I tell you. And the reason why I ain't got nothing else to do with a perfect segue is because I have finished. Oh, my God. I never thought I would get this way for this show. I gotta be honest. I never thought I would have gotten all choked up and emotional for this show the way I did. And that show is Star Trek Picard. Now, when season 1 came out, I remember... This was like, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever it was. I didn't get Paramount Plus. I was like, I don't want this. There's no reason to get this. And YouTube actually, Paramount Plus put it out on YouTube, the first episode for free. And I watched it and I said, wow, you know what? That shit ain't bad at all. I dug it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. But I never got Paramount Plus. So it came, it went. Season 2 came, it went. And then season 3 this year came, and as it was going on, I was like, I didn't want to see spoilers, but the trailers had me open. I was like, wow, this shit looks crazy. They got the cast of the Next Generation. Like, I was loving it. I was like, all right. And just full disclosure, I'm not really a Trekkie, or a Trekker. I like Star Trek, but I never watched all of the Next Generation. I've never watched all of Deep Space Nine. I watched maybe 2 episodes of Enterprise. I did watch Voyager. I like Voyager. But, like, for the most part, my captain was Kirk. My crew was Kirk, Spock, McCoy, Chekhov, Zulu, Uhura. Those were my people. Scotty, those were my people. And then the Chris Pine movies came out, and I was like, it was fun. It was a fun reboot. I like how they, brought the original... Yeah?
May I interject? Those Chris Pine movies are, unfortunately, my only consumption of anything Star Trek. I am but a virgin to this franchise. I have never seen a single episode of any of the actual TV shows, and I apologize immensely to all the Trekkies that ever come onto this video and hear this.
Oh, it's blasphemous.
I'm going to try to be better. I'm still just a filthy Star Wars fan at the core of it, but
Well, all you gotta do is watch Wrath of Khan. That's it. Just watch Wrath of Khan. You'll understand. I will say, the reason why I started Picard last week was because, being a filthy Star Wars fan myself, I was like, oh, The Mandalorian is wrapping up. Let me start now. And then I said, I've seen the reviews. I've seen things I did not care to see. And I was just like, you know what? I can wait. I could wait for that last episode to come out, and then I could just sit down and binge watch the whole fucking thing. So let me watch this, and try to knock this out, and we'll go from there. And I'm glad I did, because again, I watched that season 1, and I don't remember. I remember there being backlash, but I didn't get into it because I didn't watch the show. I only saw that first episode. After I watched it, I was confused. Now again, maybe the backlash came from hardcore Trekkies and Trekkers, and they might have had their own, wishes and wants, and that's fine. That's fair. The only thing I can think of in that first season that people would be mad at was Picard himself kind of being a softie, because in the show and in the movies, he's a hard ass. He is a strict, hard captain, but he does it because he loves the crew. And he wants he doesn't want loss. Like he wants his crew to come home. So I get that, like from what I remember. So I get that. But he's real soft. And I was like, well, maybe that's the only thing I can think of. But then I also said to myself, on the other hand, he's old. He's old. Of course, this is what old people do. Their legacy is etched in stone here, but now they just like, you know what? Maybe I was a little too rough. It's a reflection. So I dug it. Season 1 came and went. I thought it was very poignant. I loved the ending of it with Picard and Data. I loved all that stuff. Then I get to season 2. And season 2 was good too. I dug it. There was a lot of callbacks to some of the original Star Trek movies, especially Star Trek 4, the Voyage Home. Because you've never been a part of it, I shall explain real quick. In Star Trek 4, The Voyage Home, there is a probe that comes towards Earth. And this probe is wreaking havoc, and Starfleet, they can't understand the probe. All they understand is it is in an ancient dialect, but the species is no longer around on Earth. They've been extinct since like the early 20th and 21st century, right? And it was humpback whales. So the crew of the Enterprise and a Klingon bird of prey go back in time by using a trajectory that make the velocity go so fast when they go around the sun to go open up a tear in space to go back in time. I love it. It's science fiction at its best. It's Star Trek, whatever. They did that in Picard season 2. They did the exact same thing. I love that they even called it out. They were like, hey, we could do what Kirk's crew did back in, perfect. I loved it. Overall, I don't think it was a strong season. It had its moments, but at the end of it, I was like, I could live without it. Season 3 completely butt-fucked season 2 and said goodbye. Like, I mean, and I have to go now, and I really want to go online and see what happened, because they erased key components. I'm not going to spoil anything because season 3 just finished. But they erased key components like this. The season finale, like the whole crux of season 2. Season 3 erased. Mm-hmm. It just erased. Like, it didn't happen. Like, oh, yeah, nah. And I was like, holy shit, what the fuck? How? That being said, from episode 1 of season 3 all the way to episode 10, I was hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker. It was, in my personal opinion, the best Star Trek since Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Blows every other movie. Okay. Listen, it took the last 11 Star Trek movies and threw them out the window. This one 10-episode season, this 10-hour mega event, it had everything I wanted from Star. And I know a lot of people don't like the Star Trek trilogy, the Pine stuff, because they're like, oh, it's too much like Star Wars. Yes, it is. I can't lie, it is. But at the same time, it still has Star Trek. It's still Star Trek at its base. It's about exploration and people finding each other and coming together. Star Wars ain't like that.
That is also true, because the Chris Pine trilogy is my partner's favorite version of Star Trek, and he doesn't like Star Wars at all. I ever mention Star Wars around him, he gets all moany and groany.
Yo, that's an issue we must rectify.
Yes, we do.
But, and I get it. I get people's feelings toward those movies. Picard was like that. Season 3, it wasn't Star Wars, but there was a flavor there. The stakes felt higher. There was just, it was just so good. But the special effects were top-notch, on point. The ships. I'm a Star Trek fan because of the ships. Honestly, I love the look of the Enterprise when I first saw that as a little boy on television. I just loved the way that shit looked. When the movies came out, especially Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan, when I saw the Reliant for the first time, which was the shit Khan did, forget it. I was like, that ship's better than the Enterprise. It was my favorite starship. And then with the Next Generation, the way the Enterprise looked was so vastly different from anything we ever seen before. I was kind of like thrown off. I was like, what the futuristic type of weird ass? But it grows on people. You know, that fucking thing had 7 seasons in, well, one movie because it got blown the fuck up in the first one. But I digress. It's iconic. So this season they had all these Starfleet ships, and they were just better and and they all kind of look like the Enterprise, and I'm like, that's all I wanted. So fucking dope. But it was like everything, man. I loved it. I couldn't lie. And then how everything comes around and the homage to the original show, to the point, and I love this too, every episode would start off with a title card. It would be like the episode number, and then like the title card would be the episode number and whatever the title of the show is going to be. And it was the exact same way they used to do it in The Next Generation when that came out. It was little things like that, man. Nostalgic trip that I was like, this is amazing. This is dope. And the show was fucking fantastic. It was better than season 1. It completely erases season 2. And then it's just, in my opinion, it is the Star Trek I have been looking for. Not looking for, I shouldn't say that. But is the Star Trek yeah.
So would this be a good show for a Star Trek virgin like myself? Or should I watch The Next Generation first?
I would watch The Next Generation first, only because all 3 seasons, season 2, yes and no. Season 1 definitely, and definitely season 3 plays on the strength of togetherness. I swear to God, as I'm watching the last 2 episodes of season 3 yesterday, all I kept hearing was JR in my head saying, it's the Fast and Furious of Star Trek. It's all about family, because it really was all about family. And I was like, but it makes so much sense. It was a perfect swan song for them. I'm happy it got what, that crew got to go out like that. It was perfect. And I would definitely say, before you watch these seasons, find a list of Star Trek: The Next Generation important episodes, best episodes. You'll definitely know them when you see them. And just watch those. If you want to go crazy and binge, please, by all means. But I would find like important things. Like there's definitely lists out there. And I would watch those. I would watch all the movies, starting from the original Kirk crew.
The original Star Trek?
Yep.
The original Kirk stuff?
Watch The Wrath of Khan. That's the best one of all time. That shit is Empire Strikes Back level. I'm telling you. People people scoff at me. I'd be like, watch that movie and understand that movie. That movie is Empire Strikes Back level of greatness. It's a space epic. It's perfect. Oh, and I have to. You won't remember this, but I have to. Minus spoiler, and it's not even a spoiler, it's an Easter egg. They go to this, in season 3, they go to this facility in space where Starfleet is keeping all of its craziest experiments or weapon systems. It's basically like the ending of Raiders of the Lost Ark, when they bring the Ark in that big facility, and it's supposed to be like, well, you know what I'm talking about, right? You've seen Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, I know.
So it's basically the space version of that. And in that thing, they show the Genesis Project, which was the whole plot and meaning behind Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. And it was in the facility, locked up, and there it was. And Genesis kind of looks a little bit like the Oxygen Destroyer. I'm just saying, I loved it. I was like, I geeked out. They even had like the little bit of music they played from the from Star Trek 2. You know, I loved it. I geeked the fuck out.
Okay.
There's a lot of Easter eggs in season 3 of Picard that pertains to all of Star Trek. Not just the Next Generation, but Star Trek in its entirety. They even, and I think it was this one. They even talk about certain things that led up to the Chris Pine movies. And that was season 1. Season 1 did that. Because that all happened in the original Star Trek universe. So you had like the original Kirk crew, Picard, all of Star Trek. Where Spock came from is that universe. So that's what I loved about those movies. It's like we're not taking nothing away that happened before. We're just altering history and we set it on a different course. That's why they call it the Kelvin timeline. So I love it. And yeah, you know, that's brought up in like season 1 of Picard. And that was dope. And I was like, that's fucking dope. So, but yeah, I rambled on longer than I wanted to about it. This show really, Captain Kirk is my guy. William Shatner, I'm telling you, he's my guy. I love Captain Kirk. But seeing this old, aging Picard made me realize just how dope of a fucking captain and a character Picard is. And I loved it because it was just so good. Because you see his faults. You see a lot of things that come back that, you know, bite him in his ass now that might have happened in the past. And just, I didn't feel like it was cheap. Now, again, I'm not a Trekkie or you're a Trekker. I haven't been online. I will go online. I want to see reaction from fans, real hardcore fans. I follow a couple of them that are hardcore Trek fans. And I stayed away. So I can, you know, watch this and get it all for myself. But I want to see what they say. I'm really looking forward to that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's, like I said, it's the second best Star Trek thing of all time.
All right. I guess I got some homework to do myself.
Oh, absolutely. But, yeah, from Star Trek to another trip down memory lane. And this one isn't really for me, but for the sake of being a geek, I said I'm going to watch it. And that was Netflix's Power Rangers, Once a Ranger, Always a Ranger, or whatever it's called. And it's a 1 hour special. Brings back several of the original cast. And I gotta be honest, man. What they did right. Let me just say this off the bat. I'm not a fan of Power Rangers. I don't like Power Rangers. I never liked Power Rangers when it first started. My brother loved it. I said, this is bootleg Voltron. Get this shit out of my system. I don't want to see it. I hated it. I hated the theme song. I hated all that. The theme song was actually cool. But I hated all of it. I hated it. Morphin Time. I hated it. I hated it. I hated it. I saw Zoo Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
And reached like about 5 years ago. And I didn't finish the whole thing, but I was watching that and I was like, see, in proper context, this shit is dope. I digress. Like I said, never been a Power Ranger fan. My brother was a diehard fan. Took him to see the movie when it came out, the old freaking, with the original cast.
Oh, the 90s Power Ranger movie.
Yeah.
I had that on VHS as a kid. I was a baby. Like, I was just getting bored when Power Rangers was at the heyday back in 1993 when it came out. So everything about Power Rangers for me was secondhand from my eldest brother, who was 4 years older than I was. So he was in the middle of the Ranger boom. I was just the kid, the poor little brother who got the hand-me-downs. But I still love Power Rangers because of it. Uh-huh. So I wouldn't take that away for anything in the world. But yeah, I used to watch that movie so many times as a kid. And I know that the CGI Megazord at the end is just the cringiest, awfulest thing you'll ever see in your life. Even the Asylum has better CGI, and they're a micro budget studio who's on the fucking Sci-Fi Channel. But
Well, if you thought that CGI was bad, boy, do I got something for you. This shit starts off, and I'll tell you right off the bat, I appreciated what they did. It was a 1 hour Power Rangers episode. Straight up, it was a Power Rangers episode. The difference is they treated the viewer in real time. They didn't treat them like children again. They gave them that nostalgic feel, and they gave all the hits that made them kids fall in love with Power Rangers. But they did it with a little bit more maturity. People were dying. They were talking about death.
Basically, they did what the comics have been doing for years.
Yes and no. Because the comics, they're still teenagers with attitudes.
Yeah.
These were grown-ups who were still the Power Rangers. So it's basically like, they're like the Justice Society of America. You know what I'm saying? They're the old guard. There's still Power Rangers still happening. I appreciated that. I thought that was actually really cool. And it's not that they throw that in your face, but you see different Rangers. And so you know that this is a continuation. Like it all stems from the original Power Rangers. So I dug that. And again, like playing with the themes of death. You don't get that in 1993. You don't get that at all. They don't kill.
Mm-mm.
They don't. Unless it's the Zoo Rangers, then you see that shit. They be killing. They be killing. Listen, I will say this. There is an episode of Zoo Rangers where the Pink Ranger, and I think it was the Blue Ranger, I don't remember what other Ranger it was, gets possessed or put under a spell where they turn bad. And I mean like, they become like the evil versions of themselves. Like the darkness in them comes out. And there is one scene in particular.
I think I remember that episode.
You know what I'm talking? There's one scene in particular in that episode where they do a Bonnie and Clyde type of thing, and they've got Tommy guns, and they light up a crowd of people and kill them. And I sat there, I said, this would never fly in Power Rangers. This shit, it fucked me up so much, and I loved it. And I was a grown-ass man, and I was like, I love it. That being said, that would have never flew on any of the Power Rangers in America. They dealt with themes of death. They did it the right way. The original Yellow Power Ranger, she passed away a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
They folded that into this. And I thought
really?
Oh yeah, right off the bat. It's basically like their last mission together as a team that jumpstarts this whole 1 hour thing. And she heroically saves another Ranger. And gets blown up. She dies. But she has a daughter. And then the daughter's like, yo, what the fuck? You know, like, that's my mom's. And then she finds out that, she was running all this shit. But that's where it becomes real Power Ranger-y. Like old school. Again, that nostalgic kick for fans. I seen it. It's all there. It's all there. Unfortunately, and this is the the thing that hurts, right? We knew Trini couldn't be in this, obviously, because she's been gone since like 2001, I think.
Are we about to get Jason David Frank?
It's hard, man. And you know what's really crazy? I don't think we've ever spoke about it on the podcast. I like the dude. Not because he was Tommy the Power Ranger. I liked him because he was a geek.
He was my original. He was the Green Ranger. He was the Black Ranger in the Dino Thunder. Tommy was the OG, and Jason David Frank, as an actor, is the OG.
Yeah, because
he poured his heart and soul into this franchise, and he didn't even have to.
No,
it was stuff like that earned him a cameo in the 2017 Power Rangers reboot movie.
Yep. Yep. And I loved it. So in the beginning, when you do see the Green Ranger pop up, it's kind of like, fuck. Because for a fact he would have done this. He would have. Or not. I don't know, because I'm pretty sure this was in production before he took his life. And that's the tragic thing, right? We won't know. I don't know the ins and outs of it. I know that the Pink Ranger, Kimberly, didn't want to do it, and I think it was because of money. I'm not 100% sure, but it was a romp. It was a nostalgic romp. It was cool to see certain things again. I really liked the way they explained Rita Repulsa, or Robot Rita as they called her in this one. I thought that was actually a stroke of genius. And again, to me, that was the maturation of the teenagers with attitudes into adults, as well as the audience who followed them when they were young as adults now, who are watching it with their children. It was a very cool way of doing it, and I gave him props for that. Overall,
now I heard Lord Zed also comes back.
No, I didn't see that.
You didn't see Lord Zed?
He
wasn't there.
No, unfortunately. I love Lord Zed. I'll be honest. I did watch that when Lord Zed came. I did watch those Power Rangers with my brother because I thought Lord Zed was just one cool looking fucking character. That's a badass.
He was exclusive to the Power Rangers part. He wasn't in Zyuranger.
Right, exactly. So, no, he's not there. He wasn't there. It was just Rita Repulsa, a bunch of putties, and two villains that I guess were in the old series with, I guess they got a robotic update. And that was it. I mean...
So we got Mecha Goldar?
No. It was a snake and a bull. I don't know them. I think I know this. Goldar's not in it, no. Because I think Goldar got killed off in... I think they killed Goldar in the Power Rangers. I think they killed him, so he wouldn't have been around.
Right, yeah, they probably did, didn't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, the way... It was just cool. So, he's like... Billy owns a company. He's like the Blue Beetle, I swear to God. He's like Ted Kord. He's got a company. The company sits at the fucking site of the fucking Power Ranger base. But nobody knows that underground is the lair. You know? So it's cool. I
where Zordon is and all of it.
Where Zordon was, and that was the crux. Billy's trying to get Zordon. Yeah. That was the whole crux, and that's how Rita, they brought Rita back, and I thought it was, again, just genius, because I didn't know what happened to Rita. I wasn't watching none of that stuff. I had no idea what happened. I seen the movie. I seen that Turbo movie once. That was terrible, but I watched that because of my brother.
Oh, we don't talk about the Turbo movie.
All right, good, yeah. And again, I only watched it because of my brother. And then the reboot, obviously, because I like the reboot. Although I did watch that giant Power Ranger where all the Rangers came back, but I didn't watch this. I watched the Japanese one.
Yeah, where it was Gokaiger.
Yeah, I think so.
Back with that big old crossover event.
Yeah, I think they were pirates, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, the pirate one.
Yeah, so I watched the Japanese version. I did. I can't lie, because I like seeing things like that. I like the multiverse aspect of Power Rangers. I think that's great. But yeah, like I said, nostalgic trip. Now we get to the that original movie CG, and I don't know if this was intentionally done, but I got a kick out of it. At the end, obviously in true Power Ranger fashion, we gotta have...
There's a Megazord fight.
You gotta have a Megazord fight, right? Bro, it's the Megazord.
Is it CG? Is it not Tokusatsu?
It's the movie CG. It's so bad. It's good though. It's the legit Megazord. I thought this was dope. I gave it props. I clapped. I said, all right. When the Zords come up and they do their thing, they literally shot for shot recreated the way it looked in the show back in the day.
Oh, with the Dino Tanker and all that?
Yeah, so, like, the Tyrannosaurus comes up from, like, the earthquake. The Pteranodon comes out of... They shot for shot redid that. So it's crisp, it's clear, it looks great. It looks great. Their models, their toys, they look freaking great. And then, they come together and now they're rolling. I'm like, oh, this is cool. But then when they transform and they become the Megazord, and it's the Megazord, it's the old school Megazord, but it is in that ugly 90s CGI style. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, that's not true. That's impossible. Oh my God. But again, I don't know if it was like they were doing it on purpose. Because come on, man. This show had a budget.
Do you think Netflix would give them a little bit of a budget?
And it had a budget. I'll tell you, like whenever they teleported, it looked really good. It looked really good. I mean, honestly, when putties were breaking up and it didn't look like that really choppy claymation shit, but it looked good. It was cool. I think it was purposefully done. I'm going to say that because I don't think they would have done that because that's all they had.
So was it like 2001 Young Gary levels of CGI?
When did that Power Rangers movie come out? And you don't make fun of that movie. That movie's great. And I'm talking about Young Gary 2001. I love that movie. What was it? 95, 96, right?
Wrong.
It was like 95, 96, I think that Power Rangers movie came out.
Yeah, it was 95.
95, yeah. Right, because they were going to go into their third season with the ninja sword stuff. Yeah, no, it looked like 95 CG. It was hysterical. Hysterical. And I sat there and I was like, okay. Okay. I was like, this is why I'm not a fan. This is terrible, but I appreciated it. I did. I ain't going to sit there and knock it. You can tell, like I said, it's definitely made for the kids who grew up loving that shit. If I grew up loving that, I would have gotten a kick out of it. The unfortunate situations, though, being we have two cast members who've passed on. One recently and very tragically. Both of them died tragically. Because Doi Train, I think she was in a car accident in 2001. And
yeah.
So, but then you have, the monkeys in the room was like, Kimberly's not there and Jason's not there. So.
Well, Rocky's there, so.
Yeah, Rocky showed up. Kat showed up. Hell, Aisha and Adam pops up. And I thought that was cool because I gotta be honest. I always had a crush on Aisha. I watched that season with her. I said, ooh, look at you, my chocolate queen. I love you. But, yeah, for nostalgic sake, if you're a fan of Power Rangers, and I'm pretty sure everybody has Netflix, give this a shot. It's an hour. It's inoffensive. It plays with the theme of legacy without going too heavy with it. Not like Picard. It's definitely a Power Rangers episode from the 90s brought into this today for the kids growing up with it. Like I said, I never felt like they were, what's the word I'm looking for? They're not playing us. You know what I'm saying? What? I forget the word I'm looking for.
It's not done purely for commercial profit. It's done out of some genuine care.
Some genuine care, yeah. Yes, exactly. So yeah, in that regard, I enjoyed it. I liked it for what it was. It was simple. It was neat. Does it start a whole new series? I mean, it's potentially there.
I mean, since the series is being run by both Hasbro and Netflix now, the sky's the limit. They could do whatever they wanted.
Yeah. Look, just like, I'm going to go back to Picard. The ending of Picard Season 3 sets up the future, but a future without Picard because Picard's story is now finally finished. It's come full circle. And that's how it felt with this. It was like, okay, where do we go from here now? And I was like, I wouldn't be mad if that popped up. I wouldn't watch it, but I wouldn't be mad if they did Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and not like Power Rangers Dino Furies or thing or whatever the newest wave is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get you.
A little bit of old school. You still got people, and I will say, especially Zach and Billy, they were really putting the work in. They were putting the work in. They were not phoning it in. They were putting the work in. Rocky a little bit, yeah, but
you know what would be cool for Power Rangers to do, for Hasbro and Netflix to do, which admittedly is like probably something that would be way too artistically taxing on the budget, but to go back to those first 16, I think it was, seasons of Super Sentai before the 17th season, Zyuranger made the first season of Power Rangers, and just like go back to 4x3 camera filming, get yourself one of those old ass freaking like 60s era cameras, and just do Power Ranger episodes based on those older Super Sentai series.
Bro,
that never got a Power Rangers adaptation.
Honestly, I love that idea. And like you said, get the old cameras, no filters. What I would try to pitch though is, because that never had an adaptation, is, could we get the rights to the looks and create new Power Rangers, but using those costumes, using those looks?
Yeah, because again, there's 16 whole generations worth of Super Sentai looks that haven't been adapted to Power Rangers before.
Yep. Although I don't know how the playing cards one would look. I think that was the first one. I'm not sure. All I know is that is a phenomenon that will never go away. It is absolutely stunning and mind-boggling to sit back and think about 30 years of Power Rangers. And I mean, like, I don't know where they're at right now, if it's even still coming on television. I've not followed. Like I said, the last thing I remember that I wanted to see was that big compilation of every single Ranger of all time in one place. I thought that was a great gimmick, and I love gimmicks. So I don't know if there's like Power Rangers still coming on, like new stuff.
Oh, there is. It's owned by Hasbro and Netflix now. So Netflix has both all the previous episodes of Power Rangers to stream, and it has what's coming out right now concurrently. Because I think Power Rangers at this point has completely caught up to Super Sentai. So they're just using the most recent Sentai footage, which is once again a dinosaur theme, because they go back to dinosaur themes a lot for some reason.
Well, as you start running out of things to do, I mean, we get space trains, and he's like, what are we doing next? What are we doing next? You know? I tell you, they should do, look. Power Rangers X Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I'm just saying, I thoroughly enjoyed that book. And I think there's a part 2 now. I think they have a sequel.
Yeah, if they could adapt that to an actual TV show, or better yet, the plot of Godzilla versus the Power Rangers, because that comic book's dope as shit.
Dear Netflix, you have 2, dare I say 2, Godzilla animated projects on your streaming service. You own the Power Rangers. How hard would it be to talk to the people in Japan and say, hey, we want to do this, Toho! Let's make it happen. I mean, look, Ninja Turtles and Batman got an animated movie, so I'm just saying, this could happen. I'll be all down for it. Oh my God, Godzilla. Give me Power Rangers versus Godzilla animated on Netflix. I'm in. That book was a riot. I loved it.
Yes.
Oh,
that was a great book.
Speaking of riots,
I still need to get the trade for that.
Oh yeah, I got it. I went to a local comic shop and it was there, and I was like, you know what? I do need this. I mean, again, not a Power Ranger fan, but look who's there. The big guy. Get over here. Okay, before we get into Jurassic Park.
But thinking about Power Rangers, and thinking about what their Zords usually are, dinosaurs, segue.
Well, yes, close, but no cigar. Because I have to talk about one last thing. I have to get this off my chest. Continuing nostalgia, and this is not nostalgia, but there's nostalgia in it. I saw Evil Dead Rise yesterday.
Ooh, all right.
And I know I'll probably get flack for this. I don't care. I'll be in the minority with this. Evil Dead 2 is not my favorite Evil Dead movie.
Oh, no, that's Army of Darkness.
And that's not my favorite Evil Dead movie either. Evil Dead 1, to me, the original Evil Dead 1, is a perfect horror masterpiece in my book. It's absolutely fucking scary.
Okay.
It's gory as hell. It's bloody and it's violent. You know, everybody knows for a fact you can't get away with making a movie like that today. You can't. You can't do a rape scene with a tree today. You just can't. People would be like, nope, and cancel it. That movie...
I mean, they did that in the reboot.
Kind of, sort of, but it was also her. She was seeing her there, you know what I mean? And it was kind of like,
yeah.
It was like a metaphor for her withdrawals and her, you know what I mean? Her clashing. But that first one was straight up, you know, it was straight up Swamp Thing and Abigail Arcane getting it on. They were getting it on.
Yeah.
But that movie, to me, again, it's just... It's like it's my favorite horror movie. It's just it scares me. It scares me. It's fucking downright freaky, and it is a shoestring budget. That's what kills me. Literally, it's an independent film.
Mm-hmm. It was an independent film.
That being said, I hated that Evil Dead 2 decided to remake Evil Dead because now they have a fucking budget, but they made it campy and kooky and kind of the gore's still there.
Well. They kind of sort of rebooted Evil Dead, but then kind of kept going in their own way. The Evil Dead continuity is weird.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, it was like literally Evil Dead 1 without the rest of the gang. You know? It's just like, wait a minute.
Yeah, what? Evil Dead 1 without the rest of the gang.
And
then it gets goofy after the girlfriend dies.
Right, and I was just like, no, wait, this is great. So that being said, we cut to Evil Dead Rise, which is the sequel to 2013's Evil Dead remake, which was a great fucking movie in its own right. Gory, violent, disgusting. I loved it.
So it is the sequel to the reboot.
Yes and no. There's really no direct connection. Not like Evil Dead 1 and 2 with Ash. There's literally like no connection. It's just the Necronomicon pops up in this where this building's at, and then all hell breaks loose. Literally, all hell breaks loose. There's earthquakes. It's crazy, but I'm not going to review the movie. I will say they do things, and I respected that. They do things straight out of Evil Dead 2. They do things straight out of Evil Dead 2. Okay. They don't follow it. It's not the same movie. But I'll give you an example. Evil Dead 2, the fat woman is in the mother is in the basement. And if I'm not mistaken, they're trying to shut the door on her, and her eyeball pops out and goes flying across the room into the girl's mouth. Well, in this one, the girl bites this dude in the fucking eye, spits the fucking eye out, goes flying across the room into a girl's mouth. I said, oh, God. It's not the same, but it's there.
So it gets goofy.
It gets goofy. I swear to God, I could not believe what I was watching. It's like, and it's not bad goofy. It's not stupid goofy where I kind of feel Evil Dead went. See, that's why Army of Darkness worked, because it was goofy. It already said, fuck it, and let's go all out, right? There's certain camera tricks that they do that they took from Evil Dead 2, and it's in there, and I was like, that's cool. So there are definitely homages and throwbacks to Evil Dead 2 that I thought I gave it the benefit of the doubt.
So it's way more in Sam Raimi's style of filmmaking as opposed to the remake, which only had snippets of Sam Raimi's style of filmmaking.
Very much so. Very much so. Now, I will say, this is the best Deadite. Mama Deadite, this woman, man, She is gnarly. Like that's the word. She's gnarly. And again, you see it in the trailer. Mommy's with the maggots now. Oh God, that delivery is great. But I seen a lot of reviews coming out, not spoiler reviews, but a lot of people saying it's the scariest, it's the goriest. I was waiting to be scared. I was not scared. Okay. If you know Evil Dead, you know the beats. You see things coming, and it's not a bad movie at all. But yeah, I'm gonna say it's gonna be hard pressed to make any kind of money, especially next week not next week, in 2 weeks when Guardians comes out. I had fun, but at the same time,
that is unfortunate.
Yeah, I had fun, but at the same time, I was like, all right, it could have been any other. It could have been any other kind of demon possession movie. It really could have. It could have been a remake to Demons 2, for crying out loud. It almost fits the bill. But, slap the Evil Dead name on it for franchise sake and monetary sake. I don't know. I don't know what the box office take was yet. I'm pretty sure they should be in by now. But, well, I'll see tomorrow. I'll check it. It should make its money, but at the same time, I'll give it another watch when it comes on like HBO Max. I don't know if I'll buy it.
Yeah. I feel like with most Evil Dead movies, they usually find their audience on home video anyway.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. But I'll tell you, in terms of remakes go, it was better than that second Jurassic World movie.
Segway.
Oh, but nostalgic. You and your partner was watching the Jurassic Park movies over the course of a week, this weekend?
Over the course of like 3 or 4 days, we have watched all 6 of the Jurassic movies. We have not yet watched Camp Cretaceous because, well, we're still watching Dragon Ball, so I don't want to add another TV show on top of what we're already doing.
Yep.
But we will get to Camp Cretaceous because Camp Cretaceous is canon. It is.
Oh.
So.
Did not know that.
Yeah. And Camp Cretaceous is both canon and good. So. But watching this with my partner has, his perspective on things is usually refreshing because he's so, like, different, I guess would be the best way to describe it, from me in terms of our taste in media. Like, he grew up watching things like the Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir and reading Homestuck on the internet and stuff. Whereas, me being the poor 90s boy that I was with the hand-me-downs and stuff, I got a lot of the 80s and 90s and early 2000s nostalgia for Jurassic Park and all that. And I've always had my opinions on the Jurassic franchise, especially with the Renaissance, with the World trilogy coming out and whatnot. And, well, let's just start off the bat. Jurassic Park 3 is actually not nearly as terrible as I used to think it was.
I keep telling people this. Oh my God! All right, I want to hear what changed. What changed?
What changed is a combination of me watching it for the first time in over 10 years or so, being in a much different mindset in my old 30-year-old man brain rather than my young 20-year-old man brain. And it just appreciating the more family aspect of the story, watching it with my partner and him pointing out the family aspect of the story and all that, and that was nice. Now, is it my favorite among my top 3 favorite Jurassic Park movies? No. My top 3 is probably still to this day The Lost World, Jurassic Park 1, and Jurassic World.
Yeah, fair.
And Jurassic World is actually my partner's new favorite in the franchise. It's even above Jurassic Park 1 and The Lost World. Which, fine by me. You can have your opinion, babe. But, you know.
You might be wrong, but it's your opinion.
It's your opinion. Now, would I put Jurassic Park 3 above, say, Dominion? You see, I am one of the few people on this planet that really likes Dominion.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
And that's probably because I never saw the theatrical cut of Dominion. I've only watched the extended cut.
I thought you were going to say because it's nostalgic theme.
No. It's because I was never exposed to the terrible theatrical version. Kind of the same way with me and the Justice League movie.
Okay.
To be honest, because I've only watched Zack Snyder's Justice League, so that's the one I prefer.
Keep it that way. So okay, the extended cut of Dominion then, is it like, let's say, the extended cut of BVS where there's things added in that explain things, maybe? Because I saw the theatrical cut. I hate that movie. I gotta be honest. Oh God, it's terrible.
Yes. It add, you know, that YouTube only prologue.
Yes.
That was on Jurassic World YouTube channel with the 65 million years ago and the T-Rex versus Giganotosaurus fight and all that.
Yes.
That is added back into the movie with the extended cut.
Okay.
And I do believe there are other extended, more like making sense of things type scenes in that movie as opposed to the theatrical cut. Again, I never watched the theatrical cut, so I can't compare the two. I might have to watch the theatrical cut just to see what exactly was cut because, you know, I'll just watch the theatrical cut and be like, where the hell is this scene? Because the extended cut is so fresh in my mind. But I would say that Jurassic Park 3 is now probably my number 5. Because Fallen Kingdom's just that bad.
Yeah, Fallen Kingdom
was
direct.
What the hell were they doing with Fallen Kingdom? Fallen Kingdom is the last Jedi of the Jurassic franchise.
It starts off good. I really did like the beginning. It echoed.
I like the beginning of The Last Jedi too.
Yeah, right. It like the beginning of Fallen Kingdom echoes The Lost World, and then as soon as they get back to land, we don't have dinosaur running amok in San Diego. We have dinosaur running amok in Mansion, and I'm like, no.
So yeah, that has become my least favorite Jurassic movie, and it has bumped Jurassic Park 3 up one spot. And Jurassic Park 3 is still kind of a low point for the franchise, but still not that bad, but still kind of a low point for the franchise simply because of the fact that it goes by unbelievably short. It's only an hour and a half long.
Yeah. And
the animatronics are not nearly up to snuff as they were in the previous 2 movies.
We can make an argument. I mean, that Spinosaurus is a gorgeous beast to look at.
It is gorgeous to look at until it starts moving.
Okay, fair.
But other than that, it's still cemented this franchise as one of my favorites. It's such an amazing, peer into a world that I've always wanted to be a part of, especially Dominion. One thing that I can't keep inside with Dominion is the fact that they have feathered dinosaurs now. They broke the feather barrier, all right? This is something I've been asking for years, all right? Because Jurassic Park, when it first came out, was revolutionary in presenting dinosaurs as we knew them in 1993 to the world, because prior to that, the world was stuck in the 50s with dinosaurs. Being sluggish, crocodile-like, slow lumbering lizards, and the T-Rex stood upright like a man wearing a rubber suit.
What's wrong with that? We got Godzilla because of things like that.
We did, and I love the retrosaurs for that. But Jurassic Park revolutionized everything, and then we kind of grew stagnant again because we found things like most theropods being feathered like birds, and Triceratops not being exactly 100% herbivorous, that it did occasionally eat meat, and other things like that have come out in science since then, but Jurassic Park never changed with the science until Dominion. And I hope that they keep the ball going and get more feathered dinosaurs out there, like the Dinochirus, or maybe a not blind Therizinosaurus that was an asshole.
He wasn't an asshole, he was Wolverine, bub.
Listen, that deer did nothing. That deer was innocent. But, yes, Jurassic Park always used to represent showing the general public what paleontology really was and understood at the time, and it just kind of lost its way and just became the new norm, where all the other dinosaur movies started to copy the look of Jurassic Park rather than keeping up with the science, or even just doing their own thing and using retrosaurs. I don't know. But the point of it is, I fucking love Jurassic Park, and I'm glad that they're introducing things like feathers into the franchise.
Well, let me ask you. Is Jurassic Park, is it continuing? Did they say that there were going to be more movies after Dominion? Because, I mean, I'm pretty sure Chris Pratt is done.
Yeah, that I do not know. The franchise may go into dormancy again. Would it be for the best? Probably, in my opinion, because, you know, we had another trilogy. It's done. It's finished. Everything was kind of almost wrapped up in a neat little bow. Almost. I mean, the dinosaurs are still roaming around the entire world now, so I guess maybe they could squeeze out one more movie to really show the scope of the dinosaurs, you know, populating and interconnecting and coexisting with modern animals, kind of like how that ending montage did. Was that ending montage in the theatrical cut where you see like Triceratops walking with elephants?
Yes.
And okay. Maybe they could base a whole movie on that aspect, which everyone thought that that's what Dominion was going to be, but then it turned out different.
Yeah, it turned into paleontologist become James Bond and a clone girl named Ray. Nope, wrong movie. Becomes the daughter of Sam Neill that he never had. And now Sam Neill's a super spy. Corporate espionage. Come on, man. No. I gotta push back. That's terrible. I don't want to hear it. And all that. People were like, it doesn't matter. It's the nostalgia of seeing him again. Bullshit. He's in Jurassic Park 3. He's there. Ian Malcolm is in Jurassic Park 2. I don't want to hear it. Ian Malcolm is in Jurassic World. Listen, I appreciated that they came back and had a role as instead of like a cameo. But this role was terrible. It was Ian Malcolm is probably the only one I would have believed because of working with InGen or wherever the fuck he was working. I could believe that. Biosyn, thank you. But Ellie and fucking Dr. Grant becoming super spies, corporate espionage. I don't buy that one bit. I was like, no. It's bad enough you pushed the clone girl on me. No. I was like, no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Okay. But at the same time, let me hit you with this, all right?
Yes.
It still deals with their line of work because it centers around those prehistoric locusts. And Sattler was specifically there to get the DNA samples to confirm that those locusts were being biologically engineered by Biosyn. Grant was just there to be supportive. He was there to be like, hi, I'm Alan Grant, and everybody loves me.
No, I respect that because that's an actual fact of the movie. But it's still dumb as bricks because he's a fucking paleontologist. He's digging up dinosaurs. That's his stick. He digs up dinosaurs. This dude, that's why in Jurassic Park 3, it was kind of like a stretch. Okay, you go from digging up dinosaurs, right, to becoming a tracker. Now you're a tracker. Yo, I need your help to locate my son that's missing on this island.
Okay, but like he was tricked.
Yes,
he was tricked in Jurassic Park 3.
And that's why it works.
He thought it was just going to be a flyby over the island, and he was going to point out the different dinosaurs and spiel off some paleontological facts about them, and then leave the island and go back to the mainland and get paid.
Which is why it works. But this one, he actually knows, like, all right, I gotta put my James Bond shoes on. Oh, man, come on, man. Listen. I will say, I gotta watch this movie again because I watched it when it first came out, and I was just like,
You should watch the extended cut.
I will do that.
Watch the extended cut.
I definitely will do that because I do owe it to myself to watch that movie again, and I want to see that version. I will say the dinosaurs were great. They look good. That's one thing about the Jurassic movies. The dinosaurs, they do look good. Now, I understand feathers versus no. I personally never bought into that argument. I can go either way. I don't care. I just want to see dinosaurs. I don't care if they're accurate or not. These dinosaurs were genetically engineered to begin with. So, in that regard, you could say, well, we just took the feathers off because, feathers... Nah, we want our dinosaurs...
Because of the frog DNA.
Yeah,
we get it.
Yeah, we want our dinosaurs to look like the dinosaurs we know from the 50s. So that argument never bothered me. I do, to an extent, like the feathered look, but because it's been ingrained in our brains for so many generations that this is what a dinosaur looks like, I like the classic Rexy look, Now, I will agree.
Yeah.
I will agree Jurassic Park did in terms of, like, making a Tyrannosaurus look accurate. I love that. But, yeah, the dinosaurs were good. That's my favorite part of the me. I don't like Fallen Kingdom, but the beginning of Fallen Kingdom had enough...
Fallen Kingdom barely had dinosaurs in it. It was mostly a monster movie with this freak of nature stalking these people in a mansion.
Yeah. But it's the first half of that movie that I appreciate a lot. It had that adventure feeling, and then it goes to shit. Whereas to me, Dominion felt like it was doing too much. You know, when they went to France, I think it was France, England, wherever the hell they went, and then they were getting chased by assassins.
The Raptors.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, come on, man. And then this, man, listen, it was too much. It was really too much. They jumped the shark. They jumped the shark, and I was sitting there like,
but this is the sixth movie in a franchise.
I get it. I will say this. Do you recall before Jurassic World came out, how all the talks of a new Jurassic Park movie was leading up to military dinosaurs and hybrids? Yeah,
the human dinosaur hybrids. Yeah.
I will say I'm happy we didn't get that. We've gotten close to it with Jurassic World 1 and Fallen Kingdom because of the hybrids.
Yeah, because the Indominus Rex and the Abomination.
The Abomination. What was that called? What raptor?
The Indoraptor.
It was Indoraptor, right? I didn't want to mistake it for a real dinosaur. Although I think it is a real dinosaur, right? Yeah, Indoraptor.
No, the Indoraptor is not a real dinosaur. It is a monster.
It is Frankenstein. It is a I will say I do like the oh my god, what's the doctor's name? The Asian doctor.
Dr. Wu.
His name is Dr. Wu. Nefarious Dr. Wu. Fiendish Dr. Wu. Oh, I love it.
But he had his redemption in Dominion. He had his redemption in Dominion.
He did. I did like that. And I like that he's kind of the thread pretty well, not in all the movies, but he's there. Like somewhere his fingerprints is all over this stuff. So
he was in 4 out of the 6 movies.
Yeah, that's not bad. So okay, then he has tenure. He's been in more movies than any of the other cast members.
Yes, it's true.
That's his franchise. That's his fucking franchise.
Well, actually, no. Ian Malcolm has been in the same amount of movies. He has also been in 4 out of the 6 movies.
Yeah, you're right. But does a cameo count? Yeah, I guess it does. It has to count because I think Dr. Wu, he's not like. I digress.
He wasn't. He had about as much screen time in Fallen Kingdom as Ian Malcolm did.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking. So, what's your ranking then? You said
number 1 is The Lost World.
Okay.
Number 1 is The Lost World, and it's because Ian Malcolm is my favorite character out of all of them, and he is the main character in that movie. And also because the T-Rex is my favorite dinosaur, and the T-Rex is in that movie a lot.
Okay.
Then comes the first Jurassic Park, simply because it is a masterwork in filmmaking and a absolute revolution by Steven Spielberg once again, since he released Jaws in 1975.
Okay.
And then you got the first Jurassic World. The first Jurassic World is my third favorite, simply because it introduces my second favorite character in the franchise, that being Claire Deering.
Oh.
Mummy, as I like to call her.
Okay.
And gonna be honest, despite it being a Frankenstein monster abomination, I do like the Indominus Rex's design, and it was a pretty well-realized villain. It got all the stops that it was supposed to get when it comes to like the fearsomeness and the horror aspect, even with the fact that it could camouflage and hide its thermal energy. And it was just a perfect storm to really bring the park down to its knees. And that was another aspect of Jurassic World that I liked. The park was open.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we got to see what the park would have been like if it succeeded. At least for a little bit, until it all went to shit.
That's a good point.
Then we got Jurassic Park 3, which I found a newfound appreciation because of the familial aspect with the Kirbys, and I even like the familial aspect with the Raptors, because the Raptors weren't actually monsters. They just wanted their babies.
Yeah.
They weren't these mindless, cunning killing machines that they were held out to be in the first two Jurassic Parks, where they were these spooky door opening boogeymen. And I that's why Jurassic Park 3 is better than the bottom of the barrel, that is the Fallen Kingdom, where the only really memorable scenes was most of the things dealing with the island, and especially that last shot of what is believed to be the very first Brachiosaurus that we see in the first Jurassic Park dying a fiery death.
Still my favorite part of the whole franchise. Drinking the tears. I don't know why. I don't know why I get so much joy for that. That's a terrible thing for me to say, but I love it.
You're awful.
I am.
That Brachiosaurus did nothing to you.
It did, and I loved the Brachiosaurus. It was my favorite freaking sauropod, so it's kind of sad at the same time. I don't know why. But where did you put Dominion? You didn't say.
Yeah, that is... Oh, yeah, Dominion. Dominion is above Jurassic Park 3 for me. Simply because of the feathered dinosaurs. So, yeah, it's right below the first Jurassic World, above Jurassic Park 3. That is squarely where Dominion is, because of the feathered dinosaurs, because of the lack of any hybrid abominations, because it finally gives us a glorious look at the Giganotosaurus, which is one of my favorite big theropods. And it also brings in say what you will about the plot making them secret agents to get them into the Biosyn area. Once they're in the Biosyn area and they get to meet Claire and Owen and all them, and they're like, hey, you're the guy that was in Jurassic Park. Hey, you're the guy who trained raptors. I like that. I like the meeting, okay? It was good. I liked it a lot. You made a promise to a dinosaur.
Oh my God. I can't. That's true, he did. Oh my God. I gotta watch that crap movie again. Ugh. I don't know. That's, I mean, I can't knock it. My list goes Lost World, Jurassic Park 3, Jurassic Park, Jurassic World. Or is it Jurassic World then Jurassic Park? I'm not sure. I'm in the minority here. I like Jurassic Park 1. When I saw it as a kid, I thought it was going to be, I don't know, I guess I was looking for dinosaurs in the military, and I wanted to see shit blow up. I was looking for a Godzilla movie. I can't lie. And I didn't get it, so I think it's spoiled.
You were looking for a Godzilla movie, and you got a Majestic Nature documentary instead.
Right, and I think that, because that was what I wanted, it spoiled the experience for me. I do love that movie. It is a great movie. I will not knock it. That was just my young self wanting something else. I thought The Lost World delivered in spades when it came to military and dinosaurs. I mean, they're capturing them on the island. And then you get the Godzilla moment with a T-Rex rampaging through a city. It's great.
Although I looking back at that scene, I do believe that's actually more of an homage to the dinosaurs attack top collectible trading cards rather than Godzilla, with the one Godzilla reference moment being the Japanese people running.
Oh yeah, no, I 100% agreed. I'm just saying there's a giant dinosaur loose in a city. I haven't seen that since a Godzilla movie. Have at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jurassic Park 3, the variety of dinosaurs, I mean, they really threw pretty much everything in, and then gave me the Spinosaurus. I like flying dinosaurs. You know, Rodan's my second favorite giant monster of all time. So just getting to see flying dinosaurs takes me to another level.
Oh yeah, if you love the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3, I implore you to watch season 4 of Camp Cretaceous.
So I saw something on YouTube about this Camp Cretaceous, and I was like, no, it can't be. So I put it on, and I watched it, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing, but it was The Many Deaths from Camp Cretaceous. And I was like, this is a kid's show. They were killing people. I was like, holy shit. Holy shit, this is not right. The animation is for kids. It's a children's show.
It is not.
If only Power Rangers.
It is a Jurassic Park show that just so happens to star children and just so happens to be 3D CGI.
Yeah, if only Power Rangers was doing that back in the 90s. I'm just saying, a different beast it had been.
If only.
So, okay, before we wrap this one up, do you count... Well, I mean, it's obviously canon, but what I'm trying to say is, so we see how history has been showing us as of late that you can have a trilogy of movies, then get a sequel trilogy of movies, whereas the first movie in the new sequel trilogies is basically a retread of the original movie, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Right? We talk about The Force Awakens, we're talking about Jurassic World. It's the same.
Force Awakens, Jurassic World, I think there's a third one in there.
Yeah, but then we get that, right? I'll go back, and I'm not counting this in that regard, but you see the Lord of the Rings trilogy and then the Hobbit trilogy, right?
Yeah, the Hobbit trilogy, that's what I was thinking of.
We have, right now, a Lord of the Rings TV show on Amazon. We have a buttload of Star Wars TV shows on Disney+.
Yep.
Could Camp Cretaceous be the beginning? I mean, hell, shit. Look at Legendary. They're about to put a MonsterVerse show on Apple TV. Could the Jurassic Park franchise, instead of making new movies, and instead of going away for 10, 15 years, let's say in 5 years, drop a live-action show? I mean, the technology is there for television.
That could be extremely viable for the franchise, actually.
I think so.
Because Camp Cretaceous is doing amazingly, from what I've heard of the show's viewership ratings on Netflix and whatnot. The show is doing great. That's why it has, I think 6 seasons at this point.
Good Lord. Fuck. I thought there was only 3 seasons of that show. Oh, my God.
Oh, no, it has 6.
So, I mean, that would be the route I would go. They have a platform with Peacock. So, if Peacock really wanted to get into that streaming game hardcore, the way
they could definitely do that with a Jurassic Park or a Jurassic World TV show, especially with things like the 10-minute short battle at Big Rock.
Yes.
When that came out and everybody loved it, and it has, I don't know how many millions of views on YouTube. And if you do stuff more small scale like that, not even starring the nostalgic actors, because the dinosaurs are all over the world now, you can have anybody.
Yeah.
You can do anything.
An anthology series featuring the dinosaurs. You might have you might have 1 or 2 humans that tie the narration up, but like you said, different locations throughout the world, episode of the week type of thing. You know how they say monster?
Imagine if they had another Godzilla, specific Godzilla homage episode, where it's the Giganotosaurus terrorizing Tokyo.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, you're making a show like that, let me ask you this question. Making a show like that, do the showrunners and writers say, well, if for whatever reason a Giganotosaurus was running rampant through Tokyo, do they kill the animal?
You see that from what I understand, the wild dinosaurs throughout the world is handled by a specific like branch of the Fish and Wildlife Foundation, like here in the States. The Department of Fish and Wildlife. It has its own specific dinosaur branch now. I don't know if that's a global thing or if that's just localized to the Jurassic franchise's version of the United States or not. But I would imagine if something along that lines were to happen, it would be like any other wild animal loose in the city. They would just, if it's too dangerous, then yeah, maybe they'd kill it, kind of like how they did with poor Harambe. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Harambe.
But I would hope they would do a more humane trank and relocate.
Yeah, I could see that. Depending on the severity of the damage, if there's any casualties, like you said, if they gotta put it down, they gotta put it down. I did not know that was a thing in the Jurassic franchise, that there is a division, specifically dealing with the dinosaurs.
It's hang on, let me.
Is that from Camp
just
Cretaceous?
A second, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to look that up.
Is that from Camp Cretaceous?
No, actually, it's from the viral marketing campaign of Dominion.
Oh, shit. Okay, so, there's your show right there. It's the X-Files with dinosaurs. There's your show right there.
Pretty much, yes.
I would...
It is called...
I would pull the trigger on that. I swear to God, if I had, an opportunity... If somebody came up to me and was like, hey, we want to make a show based off of a franchise that has 6 movies already, multi-billion-dollar films. It's a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Do we give it a green light?
Yeah, it's called the Department of Prehistoric Wildlife.
Oh, I love it.
That's what it's called.
That's it. Listen, there's your show. There's your show. I mean, green light that sucker. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Well,
yeah, just have a Department of Prehistoric Wildlife TV show. Hell yeah, that'd be dope.
Hell yeah. I mean, it's there. The facilities are there. They can do it. It's not like it can't be done. We're seeing more and more, and just to tie this episode up in a nice bow, we're seeing more and more of things like that coming to TV. I watched the Power Ranger thing that's on Netflix. Again, a nostalgia trip for those who grew up with it. It's right there. Star Trek Picard, a nostalgic trip, especially that 3rd season, coming full circle with that cast, and it's a beautiful thing. This is not in the movies. This is premium television. The facilities are there. Look at Lord of the Rings. Whatever y'all want to take about it, think about it, speak about it, however well received, poor received that show is. Again, the fact that show is even on is a testament to that. These franchises can absolutely get there. Fuck! Ash versus the Evil Dead. Hello! It's been done.
Ash versus Evil Dead was a very successful show.
A very successful show. A damn shame it got canceled. I actually got the dope box set. My wife bought it for me for Christmas. So it's got Evil Dead 1 and 2. Ooh. And then the entire Ash versus the Evil Dead series. I'm upset that it doesn't come with Army of Darkness, but it's all right. I own it. So, but yeah, these things have happened. These things have been done.
Yeah, in terms of like where we are in the media world right now, nostalgia is more king than it even was in the 2010s.
Exactly. It's true. Fuck. Listen. In 10 more years, they're going to probably start trying to remake Captain America and Iron Man. It's going to make me crazy. But I mean, think about it. It's par for the course because DC...
The MCU is almost 20 years old at this point.
Man. It's there. It's available. It's available. You can have all the money in the world like Disney does, and they can give you Star Wars TV shows after the movies and Marvel TV shows after the movies. You can be NBC. And NBC is a global brand. They got money. They've got franchises. They have billion-dollar franchises, Universal. They got their own streaming service. Make it happen. Or do what you're doing with Netflix right now with Camp Cretaceous. And do it that way. But I would totally do a Jurassic Park television show to keep the franchise going for the time being. Keep it fresh, keep it funky. Definitely do it like the X-Files. And yeah, it's dinner time. I want to thank y'all all for hanging out with us in this episode 3 of the G1 and Z1 show. I want to thank my Sid from another crib, Game Z1, for joining me today.
Oh, thank you for having me. Can't wait to see your opinions on Super Dragon Ball Heroes as you're watching them, hopefully, like you did with Superhero.
Oh, yeah, no, that's coming. I'm going to go look for that today, right now, matter of fact. I'm going to grab my grub. And I would thank all y'all out there for joining us for this episode. I am G1. We are out of here. Peace.
Peace.